Good evening, folks, and thank you all for joining us on another Monday Mayhem. Me and Robbie Jed Rains will be bringing you the craziest in interactive story writing tonight. But before we get started, I wanted to let you guys know a few things. We are, as of Wednesday, will be our first broadcast with NX Radio. And in order to accommodate their broadcasting times and other shows they have in their network, we're going to be moving the beginning times for all of our shows to 7 p.m., including this one, even though it won't be part of the NX network. The reason why we're going to go ahead and move this one from 8 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central is it just makes it easier on Robbie. He has to get up really early in the morning, and since we're moving the others, we might as well move this one too. But the Wednesday and Saturday shows will be appearing on the NX network along with our regular channel, the one you're watching now. So you don't have to go any further to find it. It'll be in the same place it's always been. It's just going out to additional channels as well, including iHeartRadio, Podbean, Podcast Network. It's going to be going out to a lot of different places that we aren't currently on. And I think it's going to be great to help us promote the channel and continue to grow. Speaking of that, we are 18 away from 10K. 18. That's close enough to smell it. We're really excited about hitting that 10K. Robbie, how the hell are you doing tonight, brother?
Doing good. Got a lot of stuff accomplished over the weekend and today, so doing good.
Well, we both got some release announcements to make.
You first.
Well, folks, Dark Frontiers, Devil of the Absarokas is done. Just got the final cover earlier today, and when the show goes off tonight, I'm going to work on getting it uploaded and processed through Amazon. So it could be available for purchase as early as tomorrow. I will post everything on social media as soon as I know when it's fully uploaded, when everything's accepted by Amazon. But the last time I uploaded a book, they had it approved and the Kindle available within just a few hours, and it usually takes about a day to get the print edition in print actually available for purchase. But again, last time it took less than 12. So sometimes they get the process done quickly. Sometimes it takes them a little bit longer. But fingers crossed, by tomorrow morning, Dark Frontiers, Devil of the Absarokas will be available in Kindle and hopefully in print for all of you out there. And we will be getting it set up right on the heels, also in audio, just like we did with the others. So I will be proud to share that with you guys. In fact, might even give you guys a little sneak peek of the cover if you'd like to see it. Robbie, while I'm finding that, you want to give us a little bit of
in light of that, Kodiak should be it's done, and I'm pretty sure Luke is done with the final cover because I approved what she sent to me. DA seen it, and I'm pretty happy with it. DA said he was happy with it.
I thought it looked really good.
Yep, and I didn't have a single idea for that one. I gave her the back cover blurb and said, go with it, and I think she knocked it out of the park. So hopefully this week Kodiak will be released, so you'll have Dark Frontiers, Devil of the Absarokas, and Kodiak hopefully released and out this week. Grail Avalon Rising is done too, but for sake of the timeline, DA and I talked about Devil of the Absarokas needed to come out first because there's things in that you need to read before you read Avalon Rising. So it's done, and depending on how things go, I probably will release it around the 1st of December. Just depending on how things, but that's the plan. It's done. It's pretty much, I've got everything almost completely done inside Amazon with that one, except for the final print manuscript and the final print book cover. Lucas still hasn't got that one too. I know what it's going to look like, but she still hasn't sent me the file yet because she's got a deadline. She's working on her current book, so once she's done with that, she's got 2 days left to get that done. And she and I talked today. She said as soon as she gets done with that, she's going to knock out everything else that she's got to do with mine. So
Northwoods, I can't answer answer that question yet. I don't know for sure. I should be able to answer that the next few days, probably by Wednesday. But it'll just depend on the like whatever. It's going to be on Spotify. It'll be on Podbean. It'll be on iHeartRadio. It'll be up to their guidelines on whether or not their commercials in it. We got no say in that whatsoever. Kind of like with YouTube, it'll just be up to them.
But what we do have to make sure that is in our control that we have to do is we have to end on time.
Yes, we do have. Miss Lene is going to have to crack the whip on us, and Roxanne and all the other mods are going to have to be, hey guys, because we've got to even have the end credits done by straight up 9:00. So, who would like to see a little glimpse at the new cover? Roxanne says we can do that. Kay Bowers, I'll get with you after the show, man. I'll get with you on some of that. In fact, people would like to see it, so here we go. What do you guys think?
I like it.
I do too. What do y'all think? Looks like people are liking it.
Yep.
Awesome. That'd be up to Robbie if he wants to show any of his. I'll be happy to put him up, or he can put them up.
Well, I don't think I can put them up, but you got them. Put them up if people want to see them.
You should be able to. I mean, just down the bottom.
I have to do everything on my phone for.
Oh, okay. All right. Well then, let me find them. Did you put them in co-host?
I can if you need me to.
Yeah, that'd be easiest on me if you could toss them in there.
Entertain the folks while I do that.
I will do my best. I will do my best, sir. So with that coming around, also the next time you see us on Monday Mayhem is going to have its own intro and outro music. It's going to be completely different than the Nightmare Hunters, and we will be updating the intro for Nightmare Hunters. Misty made us another song that I'm going to be replacing just the fiddle music with a Nightmare Hunters tune. So the intro and outro will be completely different songs. Same with Monday Mayhem. I think you guys are really gonna like them, and I'm excited to get them out there. Noah and I are going to be working on those tomorrow, and we are going to be spending. Me and Noah are actually going to spend the day tomorrow prepping for the transfer over to OnX. I'm going to be changing out my soundboard, hooking up a better microphone. We've had some issues with this one. So hopefully with the new soundboard and the better mic, we won't have as many sound control issues, and we will hopefully have some awesome new stuff to share with you over the coming weeks, especially when we hit that 10K mark, because we are going to be doing a pretty big giveaway.
Yep, they're in the co-host chat, DA.
They're in the co-host chat already. Yep.
Whatever order you want to show them in, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay, well, I will bring them up and you can discuss them. All right, here we go. Almost ready. Looks like Kodiak's going to be first.
Okay.
That's the one I clicked on anyway. Ready?
Yep. And there's the final cover for Kodiak. So,
you want to talk a little bit about Kodiak?
Yep, Kodiak is not specifically.
And no, it's not the Kodiak in the Wild Hunt books.
No, it's not him. It's Kodiak, Alaska, and maybe some Kodiak other things. They're in the Kodiak archipelago. It's not specifically out of canon, but it's not specifically in canon yet either. It depends on certain things, but it's left open. And when you read the very end of the book, you understand why it's left open, that it could still be in canon depending on certain things. But it is a straight up survival story about a father and son who take a kayak fishing trip on the Kodiak archipelago in Alaska, and lots of stuff happens. Let's just put it that way. Is that a fair assessment, DA?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Arlen. I've been trying to position the mic better. You can see it right here on the screen. I'm trying to keeping it close to me, but this microphone arm is kind of weak. I've got another one that I haven't switched over to yet, but this one's kind of weak, and over this period of the show, it'll slowly lower down. So I got to keep fighting it.
And
let me know when you're ready for the next one.
Go ahead, put the next one up there.
You sure?
Yeah.
You done talking? I mean, I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to cut you short.
No, it's. I mean, I don't want to. And this is the second Grail book, Avalon Rising. I'm really happy with that one. I think that's a great cover. Luca knocked it out of the park with that one.
That is a freaking cool cover.
So she does an amazing work.
Yeah.
And y'all might want to pay attention to that symbol on the back of the book, because that's probably going to be popping up on a lot of stuff between now and the end, isn't it, DA?
I'd say we're going to see it from time to time, yeah.
So look for that in probably last part of November, first part of December. So, and I'm pretty happy with the way that one turned out. I was happy with the way Kodiak turned out too.
Oh yeah.
I think I got Doc to ugly cry reading that book.
It was a tearjerker.
Yep. But just to clear up some stuff, because I think some people were kind of confused on. We're backing up to 7 p.m. Central, which is 8 p.m. Eastern. So all those of you on the East Coast, you'll be watching at 8 p.m. Eastern versus it's backing up an hour for DA, but it's still backing up an hour for us. But on the East Coast, instead of it being 9, it's 8. And in Central Time, instead of it being 8, it's 7. So hopefully that cleared up everything for everybody.
Luca's very talented. I agree.
Yeah. She's
speaking of which, I just posted the link to her books and to Robbie's as well. So if you guys watch those pages, you can find her newest books as well as Robbie. She's getting ready to release a new one. And again, I should have Dark Frontiers, Devil of the Absarokas out hopefully by morning. So fingers crossed. It'll all depend on YouTube. Not YouTube. It'll all depend on Amazon once it's all uploaded. Ugh. So, shall we jump into this with both feet?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, I'm just going to start at the beginning of chapter 6 reading, and then we'll pick up where we left off. Chapter 6, Journey of Steel. 9 Martius, York. Reigen rode as fast and hard as he dared push the forlorn horse. Flecks of sweat were beginning to form on the horse's flanks, and Reigen knew he'd have to slow down soon or risk killing the horse. He looked ahead and saw he was approaching a small stream that crossed the path, and decided that it was the perfect spot. Slowing down, he let the horse ease into a trot, then gradually into a walking pace. By the time they reached the stream, the horse was already beginning to breathe better. As they reached the edge of the water, Regan stopped entirely and slipped from the saddle. While the horse drank from the cool stream, Regan began using his hands to dip water onto the horse's sides. Easy there, boyo, whispered Regan gently. Rest now. You earned it. Regan glanced back down the trail where he had just come and knew that he was miles away from the citadel. However, something primitive nagged at the edges of his consciousness, telling him that the citadel was in grave danger. He was still staring down the trail when he heard a twig snap behind him. Instantly, he drew his sword and spun to see a woman exiting the trees. She was carrying a basket covered with cloth and jumped when he brandished his steel. Bloody hell, woman, snapped Regan. You scared the living shite out of me. I could have killed you. Yet you didn't, she replied, smiling sweetly. Regan stared at her for a moment before lowering his sword. She didn't seem to be any sort of threat, but something kept nagging at him. Something was warning him not to be taken unawares. What do you want? Asked Regan. I have fresh oat cakes, she said, ignoring the question. Do you fancy one? Aye, in a minute, said Regan. What in the name of the old gods are you doing out here in the middle of nowhere? I have a small cabin just a short distance away from here, she answered, pointing back through the trees. Regan started to relax, but something warned him not to lower his guard. He'd been hunting these woods his entire life, and he'd never seen anyone living in this section of the woods. And how long have you been living here? Asked Regan warily. For many years now, she replied. Regan knew she was lying now. The hairs on the back of his neck stood up, and the air now felt electric. She started to move closer to him, and he quickly brought up his sword. Do not come take close. Do not come, if I could speak English. Do not come take close, cautioned Regan. Why? She asked. Surely you don't think I'm a threat to a warrior such as yourself. Do as I say, woman, snapped Regan, bringing the sword up and looking around for signs of danger. His horse whickered nervously, and its ears began to twitch. Regan sensed it as well. There was danger in the air. Relax, warrior, said the woman sweetly. Take some oat cakes and rest your weary head. Perhaps you'd like more than just oat cakes. Regan glanced at her as she began loosening the strings on her blouse. Instead of being beguiled, Regan spun on the ball of his left foot and slashed out with his sword. A brigand had just leaped from the bushes and tried to reach him, but Regan cut him down before he had cleared the stream. Attack! Screamed the woman. Get him before he gets away! 4 more brigands emerged from the trees. His horse reared up but didn't run. Regan was expecting it to sprint off at the first sign of trouble, but the Romans trained their horses for war, not for retreating. He knew that come what may, the horse would fight and die by his side. Not today, snarled Regan, dodging to the side and narrowly avoiding an arrow meant for him. I'll see you all dead afore I'll bloody well surrender. Or we'll see you dead, said the woman in a dark and menacing tone as she slipped behind him and sank a dagger into his side. Regan winced in pain but refused to cry out. Instead, he struck the woman with the back of his fist and knocked her sprawling into the creek, with blood pouring from her split lip and nose. Bloody hell, woman, hissed Regan. Oat cakes me dimpled arse. She sneered at him and wiped her mouth and nose with the back of her hand. Another arrow streaked out of the woods as more brigands appeared from the shadows. Regan spun to the side and slapped the arrow with his sword, sending it flying in pieces. Then he reached down and touched his wounded side. Blood was flowing freely, and he knew he couldn't keep fighting much longer. Dagda's beard, he hissed. As the brigands began to close in, Regan whispered a silent prayer that his horse had rested enough. Grabbing a handful of mane, he swung into the saddle like a gymnast and dug his heels into the horse's flanks. Whinnying in fury, the horse leaped forward and cleared the creek in a single bound, then raced for the trees on the far side of the clearing. After him, you fools, snarled the woman. Bring me the prize he carries. The brigands turned and raced after Regan. He grabbed his bow and leaned back on the horse's rump and began taking careful shots, killing 3 of the brigands before they could even reach their own mounts. The woman began waving her hands in the air, casting a spell. Regan instantly recognized the movements, knowing full well she was a sorceress. Before she could finish the spell, Regan took careful aim and loosed one final arrow as they sped into the woods. The arrow flew straight and true, sticking the woman in the throat and punching through to the fletchings. She grasped at the arrow protruding from her neck, and blood gurgled from her throat. Bubbles were forming in the thick liquid. Then She grasped at her blouse and tore it open, exposing her breasts. Next, she snapped off the arrow and tossed it aside as fur began sprouting from her skin. The transformation had begun. Behind him, Regan heard the mournful howl of a lone wolf. It was powerful and had a gurgling sound to it at the end. Then 4 more howls answered her. There were at least 5 of the wolf creatures now following him. They want the bloody shards, wheezed Regan. I cannot let them fall into their hands. The woman had nearly completed her transformation. The wound in her throat was closing rapidly as she changed and tore away the remainder of her clothing, revealing the massive form of a werewolf nearly 8 feet tall. Her legs extended and turned digitigrade as her feet extended into paws and lengthened to form the lower part of the leg. She howled and raged and leaped over the creek in pursuit of the rapidly moving horse. She dropped to all fours and accelerated quickly and began eating up the ground between her and her quarry. Go, boyo, snapped Regan, fanning his reins. The horse seemed to lengthen as it went into a full gallop, pushing as hard as the poor beast could go. Regan risked a quick glance behind him and realized that even if the horse could keep up this pace, it was a moot point. The creatures were gaining ground by the second. As the wolves continued to gain on him, Regan heard another noise. It wasn't the thunder of the thunder of the paws of the wolves. It was the pounding of hooves, and they were growing closer. Regan glanced around, hoping it wasn't just more brigands on horseback. He almost shouted for joy when 4 of his own tribesmen burst from the trees and charged directly at the wolf creatures. Go, laddie! Yelled a warrior as he passed. Regan knew him. His name was Cormac Shieldbreaker of Clan McKay, and as Cormac thundered past him, Regan saw the massive red-headed warrior bring up his even bigger war hammer and whirl it around to increase its momentum. The hammer was called Githrebor, meaning destroyer in Celtic. It had been forged nearly a century ago from metal that had fallen from the sky. According to the legend, the hammer glowed an eerie green in the presence of evil. True to the legend, Regan saw it begin to glow the closer he rode toward the wolf creatures. Kawabala! Roared Cormac as he slammed the hammer into the head of the closest beast. The hammer struck with incredible force, smashing the skull of the beast and sending it plowing face first into the ground. Cormac's horse leaped over the body and kept thundering directly at the attacking wolf creatures. And that's where we're going to pick up.
I can't
Some
remember.
comments.
Somebody had a question about brigands versus brigands, which one it was.
It's just
I
kind of
think
just a matter of pronunciation. It's
Yeah,
the same thing.
I was about to say, I think that's a colloquial thing. I think more of the, like in William Wallace's time, it was a pronunciation thing from England, and it was brigands. But
Mhm.
I would think probably Reagan being where he would probably say it's like DA said, just a pronunciation type. But it's the same word. It's
Yeah,
just
it's the same. Yeah, literally the same word, just different pronunciation.
potato.
I've said it both ways. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I said it both ways while I was reading. Brigands, brigands, it's all the same thing. So just blame it on my hillbilly pronunciations.
And then Jerry had a question about, I don't know if it was a pronunciation thing or if he was just Cormac.
Cormac.
Yep, that is a tie into Hal the Night Wolf. He is an ancestor of one of the. Actually, no, not Hal the Night Wolf. The first Grail book.
First Grail book. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the ancestors. So that hammer is probably going to come around in a Grail book to probably not this one because it's already done. Or this next one, probably the one after that.
What was it? Somebody keeps saying tomato, tomato, or potato, tomato. What was it Margolin said? Potato bazooka.
Yeah, potato bazooka. Hotel metal neighbor.
Yeah, Arlen, I speak fluent hillbilly. I grew up that way. So if hillbilly does come creeping in, and the funny thing is Robbie can tell you, you get a few drinks in me and that accent gets even worse.
Mine do too.
I worked hard my whole life as a kid to try to sound articulate and not sound like a Missouri hillbilly. And I find the older I get, the more comfortable it is just to slip into Ozarks hillbilly. Don't kill the horse tonight. Well, no promises, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, so we are, as the writing trope is, what they call in media res, meaning in the middle of the action. So we are currently in the middle of the action. We got a fight scene to finish. Yeah. All right. How do you guys want to start this? Cormac, do you want Cormac to take on another one? The other riders, do you want them to take on? Because there were several of these creatures. And, there's always the chance that Cormac's blow did not put it down. Jerry, you're right. OSMR pigs.
CM Wangs, MR Ducks.
CM itty bitty eyes. What do you think, guys? What do you want to start with? Cormac taking on another one? You want to introduce another character? Because there's 3 other riders.
Robin says have the horse kill something. I don't know how the horse is going to kill a werewolf, but stranger things have happened.
Okay, well, let me get the screen shared here. Okay, and we can throw that in. Cormac's horse leaped over the body and kept thundering directly at the attacking werewolves. How about Cormac's horse leapt over the body, stomping the creature as it passed, then and kept doing at the wolf. Well, we don't want to use creatures same time, so let's. There we go. There, the horse got in some licks. Especially a war horse, because those horses were pretty dang big.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it would probably attack. I just don't know how it would actually.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it didn't feel good, even if it didn't kill it. As the old saying goes, he gonna feel that one in the morning. Tammy says, "Thank you, DA."
Northwood says, when I hear a war horse, I think Clydesdale. Probably in that ballpark.
What's the not a Clydesdale, but it's in that same
Percheron?
Maybe. They're usually like the horses they used in Krull. They weren't
fire mills.
They're fire mares is what they called them, but whatever those. Miss Lene helped me out. I know they because I've watched several documentaries. They said they look just like Clydesdales. They're as big, but they're different.
Belgiums?
Might be, maybe. That's why I said I don't remember.
Well, I tell you what. While I'm typing, why don't you consult the Googles? What horses were used in the movie Krull?
Huh? According to this, they were Clydesdales, but I swear I've seen documentaries that said they weren't. So there were 16 Clydesdales, but then there's something else said they were Frisians. Yeah, well. Kevin said they were Bergerons.
I need a name.
For
one of the other warriors. I need a Celtic name, roughly 108 BC AD. I mean 108 AD for one of the other warriors. Lone Queen. That's a good point. That might help. Might be useful there. Okay. Anybody get suggestions for names?
not yet, not that I've seen.
Northwood says the size of a Clydesdale is about the size of a dinner plate. Yeah, they got big hooves. Getting stomped on by something that size and weight would be fatal, even if it wasn't instant. Yeah, I probably stomped the living crap out of that werewolf. Riker the thrice damned. He doesn't sound like a good guy. Hey, Don.
Callan or somebody. See, Lisa says Alfie, or not Alfie. I'm sorry, AIFE. However that's pronounced. And Callan says Arton. Kevin says Brennus. Lone Queen says Flagon.
Oh, I kind of like Brennus. Let's go with Brennus. I need a name for the guy that went down. Ah, there we go. Senrig. Let's go with that.
Northwood says Thrice Damn must be a relative of my ex. Oh, change that. You said I shouted Senrig. It should be I shouted Brennus.
Oh yeah,
Senrig.
Yeah.
He's going to check on.
I'm going to put all of those names in italics because they would be Celtic names. I tend to do that. If it's in another language, I try to italicize it to emphasize that it's pronounced probably differently than you realize.
I usually italicize something when I mention it, a name or something like that, when I mention it the first time. Just especially if it's something I want them to pay attention to. Yep, that'll do it. Somewhere where you put force, somebody said you put FORCCE instead of a FORCE. I don't know where.
Surprised that I don't see it. Autocorrect may have grabbed it. If anyone sees it, point it out. But
Maybe where you said bone breaking force. That's the only place I can remember where you typed that. So I think when he slammed one into a tree with a hammer. So, but roll back down, roll back. Right. Okay, there it is, right there. In the another beast leaped.
I'm really surprised that autocorrect didn't catch that. That's a good catch. I did not see it, but autocorrect should have caught it. Don't know why it didn't.
Last. At the last second, not the least second.
Oh. Nice catch. I didn't see that.
You might want to spell that HEIL, because that's, according to my research when I was doing Howl the Night Wolf, that's how
That's a good catch. Thanks, buddy. I did not even think about that.
Yep.
What's Cormac's son's name? Y'all, give me a name.
Tyrone. Richie says Cornwell. Let's see. Comstock, Sormac, Amalgade. Obadiah. That name's already taken. Roxanne, we've already got Senrig. That's another one.
Arcane.
Yeah. Thane. Hey, Thane's not bad.
Ooh, I do like Thane. Let's go with that.
Good one, Nick.
Is it Wolfsbane or Wolfsbane?
I think it's actually Wolf with an F, Bane, but
That's what autocorrect was telling me.
But if you're talking about the actual plant, I think it's with a V.
Well,
I would personally, do it how you've got it right there.
okay, I'm just going to consult the Googles.
You're not naming
the correct spelling is Wolfbane, Wolfsbane, not Wolfsbane, Wolfsbane. So that's accurate. So started on page 60. This is the beginning of this chapter, and we're on 67. So we got a few more pages before we finish this up.
Drunken Irish. That's because things happened in later books that changed the course of the series. Ragnar, you gotta read everything in sequence to understand. Because what book was it that Jay said he wasn't supposed to meet Wiley at this point?
That had been Blunk Road.
Yep.
And if you notice the dates, Beast of Blunk Road coincides almost exactly. Well, it actually does. It lines up perfectly. Beast of Blunk Road coincides exactly with Death and Dyatlov Pass. So the opening of the portal in Death and Dyatlov Pass is what causes the shift in the timeline.
That's how you get people like Rick and Jed existing at the same time, and things going in the direction that they're going.
Two different docks.
Yep, and two different docks, two or three different Steves.
Some weird twisting going on with the timeline.
Yeah, it's almost like we knew what we were doing.
You'd think we did. And just to quote Vic Vitale, serendipity, baby. It just worked out that way.
Yeah, really, it did. I mean, we joke about it because DA started writing these books way before I ever even, but it just way he left things, and even the way I wrote things in my first couple books before we actually decided, it like we joke about it, it's almost like we meant to do it.
Boondock was saying something about they used to play quarters in high school and made everyone to say their name backwards. We got on that kick for a long time in high school. I was Salguad Strebor, and my buddy Jim was Midge Somar. We had a whole bunch of Trebengerg Nildarps, Bert and Greg Spradlin.
Yes, Drunken the Portal changed the outcome of Ragnarok. It didn't
Don,
start.
you're always correct. Always pack for dragons.
Yep.
Thank you, Drunken Irish. Appreciate that. That's right, Miss Lene. We building a multiverse.
Yep. Oh, if only y'all could have been present at the table in Ohio.
Yeah, we were connecting dots that have yet to be even written yet. Actually,
Yep.
we kind of planned out what's going to happen over the next 7 to 12 books.
Yep.
Boondock, yeah, there was a bunch of us. All us D&D players in junior high and high school got on that kick for the longest time, saying everybody's names backwards. My buddy Brian Duffy was what was it? Nerethid. There was a whole bunch of us that got on that. There was, yeah. My buddy Ken Polson was Nick Noslop. Yeah, there was a bunch of them. Roxanne says I could imagine my name backwards. Well, Roxanne would be, what is that? What would that be? Inoxor or something like that.
I'd have to have a name like Bob to be able to spell it backwards.
Robbie would be Ebor.
Larry, this Saturday show is still going to be normal time. Next Wednesday's when we change times.
No, this coming Wednesday. Day after tomorrow.
No, I thought it was next week we were doing it.
Nope, doing it as effective this Wednesday.
Oh, yes, then this coming Saturday will be a new time. I misunderstood you. I thought we were going next week.
Nope, starting effective Wednesday of this week. Drunken Irish says, Dianod Ephraim. Oh, so you're a Murphy, huh? I've got cousins who are Murphys. Way over on the other side of the pond. I've still got cousins in northern Scotland and in Ireland. Apparently, somewhere down the Roberts line, we married into the Murphy clan. Arlen would be Nilra. Okay, well, what should we do next? I still want to go a little bit longer. We're only on page 67, although we could end it right there. I mean, there's really no rule. Just when you reach the end of the scene is the end of the chapter. But we're only not to the end until he delivers the pieces.
Yeah, so I think
Okay.
you probably need to at least have them tend to his wounds before.
Yeah.
He can't continue with his mission.
Cave Hours, we did the full first and last name.
But yes, Boondock, we talked about that the other day. That Young Guns 3 has been officially confirmed.
That'd be pretty cool. I would look forward to seeing that. So are they going to have Billy the Kid be Brushy Bill Roberts?
He's
because
being
he's
real
a little old.
They've been real tight-lipped about what they're going to do. But Lou Diamond Phillips, Emilio Estevez, possibly Kiefer have all signed back on.
That'd be interesting. I'm definitely going to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Drunken Irishman says, and Jay Matoska looks like Wes Studi. Wes Studi is who I actually kind of pictured for Jay Matoska. But Graham Greene, who recently passed away, would have made a good one as well. But
Yep.
Wes Studi was who I kind of had in mind.
Those have always been my top two when I think of Jay. One of those. At certain scenes, he reminds me more of Graham Greene. In certain scenes, he reminds me of Wes Studi.
When he's all cryptic, it's more Wes Studi. When he's actually getting into the fight, it's more Graham Greene.
See, mine's the other way around. I think when he's being more cryptic, he reminds me, because think about the way Graham Greene was in Dances with Wolves, and the way he was, and he was really cryptic in Thunderheart. So, but then you look at Wes Studi in Last of the Mohicans. He was a badass in that movie. So, to me, it's totally flipped on that for me.
Boondock, I agree. I think Brushy Bill Roberts really was Billy the Kid. Just, he knew too much, and even people that knew Billy the Kid ID'd him. Like, yeah, that's him.
Yeah. Me, you, and Doc have talked about that a lot.
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced that Billy the Kid and Pat Garrett faked his death. Because Pat Garrett's the one that identified the body. Yep. Nobody else knew what he looked like.
And Pat wouldn't let anybody else go in there either.
Like, yeah, that's Billy. And then they buried him.
Because that's one of the few things that the movies got right is Pat and Billy were actually friends.
I've been to his grave when I lived down in New Mexico. We went down to it. I've been to Billy the Kid's grave. I've been to Jesse James's grave. I've been to Kit Carson's grave. And then the local famous outlaw from the little town I lived in, a guy named Blackjack Ketchum. And his claim to fame, he was a train robber, and his claim to fame was he was caught and hung outside the courthouse in Clayton, New Mexico, and he gained quite a bit of weight while he was waiting for the circuit judge to finally get there. He was eating good. He gained weight, and when they hung him, his head popped off.
Ow. That's aggravating.
Yeah. Drunken Irish says, I picture Micah looking like Taylor Lautner. I hadn't really thought about that. I always kind of thought he would look like a younger Zahn McLaren. Played Micah on Longmire. He's in that series Dark Skies, but Zahn's getting old. I mean, he's no spring chicken. Of course, neither am I. But he's a little long in the tooth to play action heroes.
The guy that played the Scorpion in Predator 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I always see when I read the books and read Mike. That's just
the way Micah acts.
Yeah.
I tell you, the ones that would be toughest to cast, because you would have to find somebody that could do it, that could pull it off. You need somebody special to play Margolin and the Mohawk twins, because they are such goofballs. Not everybody can pull that off.
I'm telling you, Ryan Reynolds would make a perfect Margolin.
I can see that, but I don't know that he would ever do it.
No, yeah. You never know. I mean, stranger things have happened, but that just like you said, a special type of asshole to play Margolin. That's right. Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds would be the picture perfect Margolin. He's in good shape. He could pull off the military stuff, and he's definitely got the smart ass attitude and the quick wittedness. That's Ryan Reynolds. I mean, that's in my mind, that's Margolin.
Kay Bowers, when I created Will Grey Eagle for the first envisioned the character, I envisioned Sonny Landham from Predator. That's exactly who I had in mind for Will Grey Eagle. Drunken Irish, I would imagine a Latino comedian playing Margolin. Oh, the what is his name?
John Leguizamo.
No, no, not John Leguizamo. The dude that does the recaps on the Ant-Man movies super fast.
Oh, Michael Pena.
Michael Pena. Yeah, he could play Margolin because Margolin is a Hispanic dude. He's got an English sounding name, but his family's all Hispanic. Well,
Well,
except his dad.
I was about to say his mom was, but his dad wasn't.
Yeah, his mom is, but he looks Hispanic. That's always the way I've pictured Margolin. He's a little Latino boy, little tough bastard. He's not a big dude. I do not picture him as being like the big linebacker. He played quarterback in school, so he's quick and nimble. He's not big. Anyway,
But strictly on attitude, still.
well, yeah, on attitude alone, Ryan Reynolds hands down.
Because I can see him always pack for dragons.
No, he does. It stops in the middle of the firefight. Note to self: always pack for dragons.
Yeah, I mean, he's been prepping for it with all his Deadpool and other movies. I mean, that's prepping for Margolin.
Angela Monroe says, I picture Greg Rainwater from Young Riders as Micah. I could see that. I could definitely see that. Alone Queen says Margolin's like a chihuahua. He's not a big dude, but he's, most guys I knew who were Army Rangers, which Margolin was a Ranger. Most Rangers are not built like powerlifters. Most Rangers are built like distance runners. Those guys are all about endurance. Those guys will throw a pack on and walk for days. I mean, the Rangers, that's what they push for is endurance, and they want those guys to keep moving when everybody else is either too tired or is falling by the wayside. And Margolin is definitely built like a cross country runner. He's built for endurance. Huh, I didn't know that, Boondock. Brushy Bill said he rode with Roosevelt's Rough Riders under the alias William S. Murphy. Looked up the roster, and the name is listed. I'll be damned. Well, that might crop up in a book. Robin Ray, yeah, whoever plays Micah would have to be a pretty good sized dude. Maybe not quite as big as Gray Eagle, but he'd have to be a pretty good sized dude.
That's why I say that guy, because he's tall, but he's not like super huge, but he's a big dude. He's like 6'4" ish. Sonny Landham was what, 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, Sonny Landham's a big dude.
Yeah, so that's why I say that. And I don't remember the guy's name, but he was in that. He was also in John Carpenter's Vampires.
That's awesome, Richie. Tell him thank you for his service. That's a big thing to remember, folks. Is tomorrow is Veterans Day. We owe a big shout out and thanks to all our veterans, no matter how they served. Thank you from the bottom of our heart for all of you who have served in uniform, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Drunken Irish is the woman who played Valkyrie in the Avengers movie would be I don't know. No. I wouldn't let that actress that played Valkyrie in the Avengers movies anywhere near one of my books if I could help it. That chick can't act. She's horrible. Yeah, she sucks. She's about as wooden as a fence post. If I was going to cast anybody, it would be the actress that played Lagertha as Valkyrie.
Yeah,
Catherine Winnett. Valkyrie's blonde, blue-eyed. She's a very Nordic-looking girl. It's a Marine Corps' birthday today. Hey, happy birthday to all the jarheads. Now, blow out the candles before you eat them.
Yep. My brother just posted they had their big celebration this past weekend, so he's in all his Lieutenant Colonel glory. He's got that. Have you seen their new uniform with the jacket that's spread apart? It's not like they're traditional. They've gone to a new. It's pretty cool looking.
Northwood says anyone I know who was in one of the airborne units was short, much like Doc, who actually shrank almost a full inch by being airborne. Landing in those parachute rigs, man, it'll compress your spine. Doc actually lost an inch in height going airborne. Drunken Irish says Cillian Murphy is that Irish vampire as Logue. I can see Cillian Murphy playing Logue. Boondock, I'd heard that they had bodyguards on the set not to protect Sonny, but to protect the other actors from Sonny.
Yep. Sonny was a bad dude.
Yeah, with a notoriously bad temper. But Arnold pushed for him. He wanted him on the project.
And in my opinion, that movie would not have been the same without him.
Yeah.
He was my favorite character.
That whole exchange, he's like, "No way, Billy. You're not afraid of no man. Well, what's out there ain't no man. We're all going to die."
Ain't no man, Pancho.
That's a great quote.
We're all gonna die.
That bit where he stood his ground, I would have loved to have seen that fight play out and make it last.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, him dropping his gear and taking that knife and cutting his chest and then standing there. I would have loved to have seen that fight play out. And instead of it just showing up and killing him, and actually make it a brutal fight right there on that log. Dude, well, I would have watched that movie a dozen times just for that fight.
You know what I've heard? That so many people talked about that. That's why the Yakuza fight was the way it was in Predators.
Because they were disappointed they didn't get the Sonny Landham fight?
Yeah, so that, which, I mean,
the Yakuza fight in Predators was the best fight in it.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved that fight. I would like to watch a story just about that guy.
Oh yeah, that was really good. That's what we're talking about, Boondock. Where he pretty much did the same thing Sonny did, but instead of them cutting away, you actually get to see what happens.
Yeah, I love that. He took it out, but he's standing there with the sword, and the creature drops, and he stands there for a second, then he drops. I was like, yeah, that's a hell of a way to go.
Well, but think about the way that scene. The whole group's running. The Yakuza stops. They turn around. He turns around, looks at them, and then turns back around, and they all keep going. The exact same, scene for scene, what happened. Except you get to actually see what happened. So I've never heard anything official, but I heard that was put in as an homage to people being so pissed off that you couldn't see the fight between Sonny and the Predator in the first movie.
Oh, dude, I would have loved to have seen that fight. But yeah, that dude with that found the katana, the Yakuza guy, when he found that katana, something in him changed because he knew the legacy of that sword. You could tell he recognized that sword.
Yep.
And at that point, he was like, nope, if I'm going to go, I've got this sword. I'm going to go with honor.
And he did.
Boondock says everyone in the movie theater went wild when the Predator fell. I bet they did. I didn't see that movie in the theaters. I saw it at home. But even I was like, yeah. Arlen says the girl who played Superman's cousin in Smallville for Valkyrie. I never watched Smallville, so I don't watch a whole lot of TV. So I don't know who that is. Anyway, we've got a chapter to finish. We got like 3 or 4 pages to go before we finish this chapter out. Yeah, K. Bowers, I need to go back and watch them too, especially Predator 1. Like dug in deeper than an Alabama tick.
I ain't got time to bleed.
You got time to duck? There's a lot of great quotes in that movie. And now we're digressing again. Okay.
Did we address how they know he's on a mission?
Mm-mm. Maybe we should.
Yeah, I was just sitting there wondering that. I mean, it's kind of convenient that they showed up, but yeah, you can kind of explain it. But how would they know that part yet? Because literally, the only people that knew what he was going to do was him and Gideon, or Gideon, or not Gideon, his wife. So maybe she told him.
Yeah, now you're on to it. What was the other guy's name?
There was Sirig and
Sirig's dead.
did you say that yet? Because you said somebody check on him, but I don't think you ever said he's dead yet.
Brennus. Well, I'm pretty sure he's dead because before the second creature tore out his throat.
Oh, I missed that part. Seriously, I was reading comments and I looked up when you were telling Brennus to go check on him, so I didn't know that you'd already wrote that in there. Sorry, my bad. My bad.
Now, what was his name again? What?
Which one? Sirwig.
How you spell it?
I think it was like Cywrig.
I'm gonna have to go back and look because I don't remember. Send here. This is easier.
Don Sonny was actually in the Warriors in 1979. That was his first movie. Wasn't Lockup. He was in that movie, but that wasn't his first movie. And he's also in Southern Comfort, another 48 Hours.
Southern Comfort was a good movie.
Mm-hmm. He was. If you mean that was his first big time movie, probably, but his actual first movie was the Warriors. Warriors come out to play. He was actually played a police officer in that movie. He was one of the subway police officers. And I'm pretty sure Fireworkers came out before Lockup too, with Chuck Norris and Louis Gossett Jr. He was the main bad guy in that movie.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it came out before Lockup too. You spelled Thrain.
Oops. I put Thrain in because that was Thorin's father in The Hobbit.
Yep.
I just popped in.
Miss Lane says, we ain't got no hobbits in this story, do we?
Not yet.
Chris, that would be Willow. To name that movie. Out of the way, Peck. Willow, Val Kilmer's line. To Warwick, or
Drunken Irish says Mads Mikkelsen as Gideon. You know, I could kind of see that. Although Mikkelsen may be a bit tall, as the average height for a Centurion was about 5'5", 5'6". So Gideon wouldn't be a big dude. He'd just be a very, very imposing dude. Somebody that could command a room just with his presence alone. It'd be tough to find an actor that could actually pull that off.
Yeah. I know the arguments you said of it, but still, for my money, Sam Elliott is who I would like to see play Gideon.
I could see that, but Sam's looking really old these days.
I know, not right now.
Yeah,
but
in his prime. Sam in his prime.
About Roadhouse time.
Yeah.
Or We Were Soldiers. Either one of those areas. That's, or even Tombstone. He would that would be the better time frame for him to be that.
That's possible. Who would I cast as Gideon? Fantasy casting, if I could cast anybody as Gideon.
Because
I don't know.
Because you got to look at, like you said, if you go fantasy and you just talking about somebody who could command a room, anybody fantasy wise in their prime, John Wayne would be a hell of a way too tall,
way too big to be Gideon.
But
kind of like casting John Wayne
as Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan.
But just his sheer presence, the way he just take things over, that's Gideon. But obviously, there's way too many things that take him off the board. But just if you just look at that, the actor that could command the room and just with his mere presence, John Wayne. But you could, it's still the same problem as far as size. James Arness, Matt Dillon, he had that same presence about him.
How
But still,
about
he was bigger than John Wayne.
if I remember his name, uh, Scottish actor, did the like White House Down movies and those.
Oh, Gary Butler.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
Gerard Butler.
Gary, Gerard, how do you pronounce it?
I think he'd make a good Gideon, especially maybe he did was in Law Abiding Citizen. Clint Eastwood in his prime. Clint Eastwood in his prime would be too big. Yeah, but yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Speaking of Clint Eastwood, his son Scott is who I would pick to play Daniel Clark.
To me, Clint Eastwood in his prime, I could see him more as maybe Saunders. Just that no nonsense.
Mm-hmm. Sean Connery. Sean Connery is one of my favorites of all time. Yeah, a young like Sean, even like with the gray beard, Sean has got the command presence to play Gideon. Of course, Sean's gone, but
well, I mean, we're just talking in the perfect world.
Audie Murphy for Daniel Clark. I could see that. Audie Murphy in his prime.
Well, even the way Clark is and how unassuming he is, but does what he needs to do. Think about the way Gary Cooper portrayed Sergeant York.
Yeah. Command Sergeant Major Hammond, R. Lee Ermey.
Absolutely. That's who. Every time I read any of him, that's who I see, and that's the voice that I hear him talking in.
Yeah, that's who I kind of pictured when I envisioned him in the first place. Command Sergeant Major Hammond would be R. Lee Ermey.
Yep. I like Sam Worthington. I don't know that he's got the chops to play Clark.
Might pull it off. Might surprise you.
Maybe, but I don't see anything I don't see that need. I think he would be somebody good to be maybe like what's the guy that Clark helped promote, and his grandfather was the I can't even remember.
Murdoch.
Murdoch. That would, in my opinion, would be a type of role that Worthington could pull off.
Drunken Irish says Ermey is Sentinel. Sentinel would be proud.
Yeah.
So many characters, man. There's so many characters that would have to be cast if they started filming these.
Oh yeah.
But dude, it would be amazing. I would want to like secure like creative consultant positions for me, you, and Doc, so we're right there in the thick of it.
Oh yeah, because that's the only way it would be done right, in my opinion. Is if
Miss Linnaeus' Anson Mount is Declan. I could see that the way he played, Bohannon, Colin Bohannon.
mm-hmm.
It's very Declan Kane. Although Declan's a blonde. Anson Mount's a good actor. I like him. Really liked him as Cullen Bohannon. Sean Putri as Gideon. I'm not sure I know who that is.
Tom Pertwee's the one that played Sarge in Dog Soldiers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Miss Lene, yeah, Declan. I always described him as being fair-haired. Reardon is dark-headed. I described Reardon as being almost Declan's twin, other than the fact that he has dark hair. Drunken Irish is Anson Mount. Yeah, I've heard that, but as long as he did a good job in the acting, I don't have to hang out with him and drink beer. Timothy Oliphant is Declan. Oh, dude. The way he played Raylan Givens.
Timothy Oliphant's one of my favorites.
Timothy Oliphant's a great actor. I could definitely see him as Declan Kane. Now I'm completely derailed. Fantasy casting.
It happens. It's what tonight's about is books.
That's true. So we are still kind of on topic.
We have people that get mad when we do this on the Wednesday and Saturday shows. So if we're going to do it, this is the night to do it.
Yeah, we're talking about the books. I tell you who can pull off a hell of an action scene, especially, and he knows how to use firearms, is Chris Hemsworth. Have you seen him in the Extraction movies?
Yep.
Those movies are so good.
Hemsworth, people don't give him the credit he deserves a lot of times.
Hemsworth, all they think of is Thor, and he's actually a very versatile actor.
Well, look at how he, and I'm not
Simon Pegg is Margolin. Simon Pegg is Margolin.
I'm not a fan. That would be
awesome.
I'm not a fan of the remake of Red Dawn. I love the first one, and it was perfect, and it should have been left alone. But Chris Hemsworth did an excellent job, a very believable job as a Marine in that movie. And both the Extractions. What was that movie he was in where they went to? Was it 13 Soldiers or something? Where he got?
Oh, I know the one you're talking about, but I can't think of the name.
I can't either. That was a great movie. I don't think it was. I think the 13 Soldiers I'm thinking about is the one about Benghazi, but
13 Hours maybe.
No, 13 Hours about Benghazi. Maybe it was 13 Soldiers or 12, something like. But he was I want to say he was an Army Ranger, but he was a platoon leader, and they got cut off in Afghanistan or something. It was a good movie.
Now everybody's got me second guessing. I would have sworn I said that Declan was a blonde.
I remember he was fair haired. You had to go back to the very first book to the very first.
Yeah, I just opened it up.
I think where people get confused is the way Adam drew him
right here. Right here. My father's hair was reddish brown with a drinker's complexion and green eyes. I took after my mother and had thick black hair as dark as the dead of night and eyes so blue as to be nearly black.
Yep.
So Declan is definitely dark-haired.
But in the cover books, he looks dark-haired. I think that's where people get that. If you look at the covers, he appears to be dark-headed.
Well, yeah. Creative license for the author. I didn't catch it. Not the author, the artist. I didn't catch it at the time. Kevin McKidd is Declan Kane. Who's Kevin McKidd?
Kevin McKidd was in Dog Soldiers too. He was what was the main guy's name?
Was he the one that went on to become? Was he the one that went on in Gotham?
I don't think he was in Gotham. But he
One
was.
of the guys from Dog Soldiers was in Gotham.
Yeah, that was no, that was Sean Pertwee that was in Gotham.
Okay, you're right. You're right. I couldn't remember who it was.
Kevin McKidd was Cooper, the one that survived at the very end, and he was also the the voice of one of the characters in Call of Duty. I can't remember, maybe Soap or McTavish. I can't remember, or Soap McTavish, or no, he was anyway, he was one of the voice actors in Call of Duty.
Wyatt says Val Kilmer in his prime is Declan. He could have pulled it off.
Yeah, Toshi, that's what I'm talking about. When they were on horseback in Afghanistan, they got cut off, and
I know which one you're talking about, but I don't think I've seen it.
I've seen it a couple times. I just cannot remember the name of it to save my life.
Well, I want to try to finish this chapter, so next week we start chapter 7.
That's it, Angela. 12 strong. I knew it had a number in it. I just couldn't remember what it was. 12 strong. If you hadn't seen it, you need to check it out. It's a good movie.
I need to watch that one. But Annette doesn't like watching war movies, so I've got to find time when I've got the TV when she's not watching. Thanks, Arlen.
Angela, that's already happened.
What's that?
She said, "Oh my God, can you imagine a Lily and Margolin adventure?" So that's already happened.
Yeah, Operation Lily. Margolin's in it, but I think she means just Steve Lilly and Margolin.
Yeah, they had an adventure.
They certainly did.
And they had pretty good back and forth with each other too.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking to Cam here probably in the next few days about doing a few more short stories together. Cam's going to be working on a lot more projects. I need to give him a call. I'd like to get him back on the show, and then I also want to plan some more, joint ventures. Hopefully, he'll be reading some more of my stuff on his channel, and at the same time, I'll be working on more stuff to go with him.
Getting to read some, not on his channel, but just read some of mine. Just see
Uh,
what he thinks.
Drunken Irish says, I'm trying to figure out how to mount the bounty on my IOTV. Paracord. That's what I did. I used paracord and wove it through the holes on the side of the Kydex sheath, and then laced it through the molly tabbing. Another time I don't agree with their challenges. Like, nope, not that. No, you're not reading what I'm trying to say here.
That's about 90% of the time with.
Now, that's not the same with Grammarly. Grammarly's generally right. Not always, but generally. Except when it comes to dialogue, because then it goes out the window. But Microsoft's spell checker or autocorrect, not always right.
I don't know. Microsoft and Grammarly fight back and forth all the time. You change from what one suggests, and the other one suggests to change it back. I just cut Microsoft off and use Grammarly.
Name of the sword maker.
Waylon. After he says we'll keep you safe, you need to add 2 in between shards. He's got shards, Waylon.
Ah. Okay, I think that's where we're going to end the chapter. So, what's the next chapter? Is it chapter 6 or 7? Is this chapter 6?
I think it's 7. People were asking if septic would be a word back then. That's a dot question.
That's true. All
I
right. How about that? Turn sour.
Sound good to me.
Okay, what do we want to call chapter 7? Because this one is probably going to be about the Citadel.
We're gonna we're gonna revisit the prisoners they took in the first.
Ooh, that's a good point. We haven't done that. Let's call that. What do you guys think? Let's call it. Restoring order in the ranks. Not bad. Maybe not a maybe a little bit long. Just restoring order, I think, would be more apropos. Arlen says torture, forging the future, walled in. These are all pretty good ones. Um, hmm. Hmm.
Is this prisoner going to tell them anything about what happened to the?
I've got a thought on that.
I'm sure it's better than what I had. So go ahead.
Well, I was thinking, what if the prisoner gives them bad intel, and that's why they march north?
Well, that would actually fall because I was thinking fate of the ninth.
What do you guys think?
Because if he gives them bad intel and they march, we already know that's pretty much sealed their fate. It doesn't have to mean that actually happens in this chapter, but that could be the start of what it happens.
What do you guys think? All right, what was the date that I put on the last chapter? Let's put that. What's 3 days from there? What would be the 14th? Would it be IVX or XIV?
I have no idea. I was never good at Roman numerals.
I used to be pretty good at them, but I'm gonna consult the Googles, or unless somebody in the chat knows what's Roman numeral for 14. Consult the Googles if it'll ever freaking load. Man, my computer is taking forever to do anything tonight.
We're not saying they're marching at this point. That this starts what would be their march, the bad intel, which is what seals their fate.
XIV. I knew it was one or the other.
Yeah, Julie said XIV. Miss Lene said XIV.
I thought I was spelling that wrong. Boracum.
Kay Bowers wants to know if the Wild Hunt would ever fast rope into a hot zone.
They have. Cry of the Wendigo.
Nope.
No, Curse of the Wendigo. Curse of the Wendigo. They fast roped in to a pretty rough situation. Thanks, Drunken Irish. Yeah, they have fast roped in. All right. Well, we know exactly where we're going to start next week. Okay, then. Yeah, exactly, K Bowers. When they went into Don into the cabin. The fire team fast roped in. And then they had a full blown airborne operation in Operation Blood Eagle. All right. So next week, here's y'all's homework. Next week, we're going to start out with the interrogation. So what's the guy going to tell them? And what is he going to tell them that would lead them to take the 9th North? Carol, it's not the internet signal. It's just my old computer. My computer's a workhorse. I use it constantly, and I'm probably not eventually. I'm probably going to have to replace it probably this year or maybe next at the latest. Probably within a year, I'm going to have to replace it, and I'm not looking forward to that. Thank you, Miss Lene. Great job by the mods. Don't forget, we've got 2 releases from Robbie and 1 from me coming out in the next. Well, hopefully mine will be later tonight, early tomorrow. Robbie's is going to be coming on the heels of that over the next week or so. He'll have 2 books coming out. So look for those. Look for Dark Frontiers, Devil of the Absarokas. And then, Robbie, what are yours?
Kodiak will be on the heels of that, hopefully by the end of this week. And then Grail Avalon Rising I'll probably go to end of this month or 1st of December.
So there you go, folks.
And
read coming out soon.
And I have already started 2 more projects. So,
Angela, what do we keep saying wrong? This is Robbie D and Robbie. Y'all keep saying it wrong, and now you got me doing it. What are we saying wrong? Because it's probably a lot.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be more specific than it.
Yeah, we say stuff wrong all the time. We just uneducated hill folk.
Kevin, you start time 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern.
So check out all of our books. Check out our affiliates. We got the good folks over at Sigwell Arms. Use discount code Bigfoot5 for 5% off your order for all your pew pew needs and Freedom Seeds. They have some really good deals on Freedom Seeds. In fact, I was just looking at 5.56 millimeters the other day. They have a canister of 500 for I think it was $205. 500 rounds for $205 of 5.56. That ain't bad. And if you have a 300 blackout, they've got it for 500 rounds in a canister for I believe it was $285. Um, but yeah, check out sigwoarms.com. Check out the good folks over at Dark Angel Medical for all your med kit and med kit accessories. Doc's an awesome dude, and he's packing birthdays in boxes. So check them out. Use Dark Angel's discount code. What is the Cryptid 20 for 20% off the order. And that is HSA and FSA certified. And also check out the good folks over at Scallywag Tactical. Awesome blades, fantastic blades. They're adding new ones all the time, and some of the ones that have been there for a while go away and don't come back. You can't get the Gunner's Mate anymore. I don't think you can get the
can't get the Bounty anymore either.
They can't get the Bounty anymore. I don't even know if they got the Boarding Axe anymore.
I don't think they do. Oh, Angela said we keep mixing up curse and cry. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, we do that all the time.
We do that behind the in the backstage of the show. We can't ever remember which one's which.
Toshi, yeah, the one was set in 1865 and the other is in modern times. Both of them centered around Doc.
Yep. Funny enough. Although one would be one Doc, one would be the other Doc, technically.
Maybe.
Possibly. Could be. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
But anywho, I hope you guys have read both of them and enjoyed them. Yeah, make sure you guys check out Scallywag. Use discount code DARoberts10 for 10% off your order, and check them all out and let them know we sent you. Also, make sure you go by Amazon.com. Check out Robbie Rain's author page. You can subscribe to it and get announcements every time he publishes a book or put something live. Same thing with me. Same thing with Luca. Same thing with any of your favorite authors. You can subscribe to their author page on YouTube, on Amazon, and get an update anytime they release a book. And it's a great way to support your favorite authors. Another great way is to leave reviews, because believe me, those reviews do help. Amazon will not even start promoting the book until it gets to 100 reviews. So even if you just leave good book or just leave 5 stars and no comment, that helps. Every review helps. So please swing by, leave a brief review for your favorite authors. It does encourage them. It does make their day to know they're doing something right. And if you appreciate them, also the thing you can do that doesn't cost you a dime is tell your friends about them and share those books on social media, because believe it or not, word of mouth is the best form of advertisement you can get. I've tried buying promotions on Facebook and on Amazon, and they just don't really pay dividends. I ended up spending more money than I made. But the best advertisement has always been when you all take the time to tell people about, hey, I really enjoy these books. Let them know, hey, if you like action or you like suspense or what, you should check these books out. Check out Robbie's, check out Lucas, check out mine, check out Heath Dahlcup's, check out, Jonathan Mayberry's. Not that Jonathan needs the help, but still check out your favorite authors, because there's room on the shelf for everybody's books. Just because you read my books doesn't mean you can't read Lucas. Just because you read Robbie's books don't mean you can't read mine. For any author to think that another author is their competition is foolish, because when we inspire people to read, we all win. And what is it I always say? Stories are journeys that we take together. And I'm thrilled to death that each and every one of you have chosen to take this journey with us, because it's been an interesting journey so far, and I can't wait to see where it takes us. So join us next week right here, same bat time. Same bat channel, earlier bat time at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. East Coast. That would make it 5 p.m. on the West Coast. But 7 p.m. Central for Monday Mayhem. And make sure you join us again on the Nightmare Hunter on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Now also featured on the UNX Network. So we'll be stepping out to a whole new audience and seeing things continue to grow. And when we started the show, we were at 18. You have to go to 10K, and we are still at 18. So nothing's changed. But if you know anybody that has not subscribed to the channel, or any of you who are listening who are not subscribed to the channel, please do so. It doesn't cost you a dime. Just hit that subscribe button, and it will help us break that 10K mark. And we would sure appreciate you all being part of the Nightmare Hunter community here. Anything else I haven't covered?
I think you hit about all of it.
I think I covered the biggest part of it. I'm sure 2 minutes from now I'll be like, oh, I should have said this, but I can't think of it. Oh, my T-shirt, writer's block, when your imaginary friends won't talk to you. And Annette got me that for Christmas this year. But folks, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm really enjoying this story. I'm looking forward to seeing how this continues to take shape. And appreciate all of you, taking time to not only watch us writing this story together, but taking part in it as well. Your input is shaping how this story pans out. This is an exercise in community storytelling, and I'm really, really excited to see not only where this story goes, but whatever stories we tell together in the future. So check out both mine and Robbie's books. Check out Luca's books. Check out Jonathan Mayberry's books. Support your favorite authors, because it goes a long ways, especially for indie authors who don't have the budget of a big publishing company to handle promotion. It's not easy. I mean, when you're doing it all yourself, it's a lot of hard work, but it's worth it in the end. I certainly feel that way anyway. But every review helps. Every share helps. Every time you tell someone, hey, I really enjoyed this book by this Robbie Raines character. I know he looks kind of shady, but you should check this book out. But every time you tell somebody about one of our books, it helps us. It helps plant that seed in another potential reader. And we're very, very grateful that you all take the time to hang out with us and that you enjoy these stories that we're telling. Because again, stories are journeys that we take together. And thank you guys for taking this journey with us. Don't forget, especially now that it is Veterans Day, don't forget about the 22 a Day Foundation. We'll lose 22 veterans a day to suicide, and that is 22 entirely too many. Reach out to your friends and family that are first responders, veterans, whether they're active duty, reserves, National Guard, if they're still on duty, or if they're no longer, say if they're separated from service now. Check on them. Let them know you're thinking about them. Let them know you care, because you never know when that one text or that one phone call keeps them off the edge. Because PTSD is a bastard, and it's a demon, and these folks are fighting that demon, and they don't need to fight it alone. So again, reach out to them, let them know you think about them, especially think of them tomorrow on Veterans Day, or later today, a few hours. That's when it's Veterans Day. But folks, we owe them a debt of gratitude, and we're not doing enough to let these men and women know how much they mean to us. So folks, appreciate you guys joining us. We're going to close her out with a toast, which is a different one that we use here. And Robbie, you want to do the toast tonight? I got my flask.
I just got water tonight.
I got my Declan flask with a wee touch of the Irish in it.
I still got it, but I just ain't got nothing in it right now. All right. Like he said, it's a different one. Don't matter what you're drinking. Don't even have to take your hats off for this one. It goes like this. There are good ships and wooden ships and ships that sail the sea, but the best ships are friendships, and may they always be. Sanjama, we'll see you Wednesday for our new time, our new network. And hopefully we'll be at 10K or a lot closer. So we'll see y'all Wednesday. Sanjama.
Sanjama.
Plains, the winds are howling, saloon doors swinging, shadows growling. 3 lawmen stand tough as rawhide. Yeah, Doc and DA, nothing can abide. Whiskey shots and poker faces, staring down the darkest spaces in this town where legends roam. These boys bring justice, sending evil home. Cryptid lawmen, wild and free, hunting monsters for all to see. With silver bullets and grit of steel, they fight the dark against the endless night. Jed's a howler, claws of steel. Doc's a biter, makes the devil real. But DA's a shifty, want a shape-shifting soul. Can turn to anything, takes any form, takes control. Tonight the chupacabras come to town, sucking the life from all around. But these lawmen, they ain't afraid. They'll face the darkness unafraid. Cryptid lawmen, wild and free, hunting monsters for all to see. With silver bullets and grit of steel, they fight the darkness, make the demons squeal. From dusty canyons to moonlit plains, justice rides with wind and rains. Cryptid lawmen, a fearsome sight, standing tall against the endless night. Bat wings flap, the air grows cold, a chill and trap. But these lawmen, they're ready to fight underneath the pale moonlight. Jed and Doc transform with a howl. DA shifts, becomes a night owl. Together they stand, a force so strong against the evil right in the road. Cryptid lawmen, wild and free, hunting monsters for all to see. With silver bullets and grit of steel, they fight the darkness, make the demons squeal. From dusty canyons to moonlit plains, justice rides with wind and rains. Cryptid lawmen, a fearsome sight, standing tall against the endless night.